is Rhyl, a North Wales coastal resort. This is also winter. Soon these streets, fairly busy even now with the morning shoppers, will be absolutely packed with holidaymakers. The holiday industry is Rhyl's main source of income, and the more people that are attracted here during the summer, the better. During the winter, most of the shops are open. Plenty of variety, and a few supermarkets to keep prices competitive. The summer season was quite good, and most people have a bit more money to spend now. They may only have taken a few boarders in, but it brought in an extra few pounds. It's when the season has been bad that one or two of the people start to feel the pinch.
Find work around this way is pretty difficult. They've either got Chance Pilkingtons, and now, of course, there's a couple of new smaller factories being built, or they have to move out into Chester or further afield. You have to go 30 or 40 miles to go to work. It's quite a problem.
One of the obvious disadvantages of a tourist trade is that it's seasonal. Every town or every area, although it has its major industries or major means of making money, must develop other things, because after all, everybody doesn't want to keep visitors.
Light industry and catering for holidaymakers, I don't think do really mix. To bring any industry in of any kind would pollute it in some way. Rhyl has its activities if you look for them, but like most of these places, to my mind, these activities are never really supported by the people.
Rhyl, it suffers by reason of it being a seaside town which only springs to life in the summer, and then that life's brought about by the visitors and not by the residents, so that to try to build up a regular following for anything is rather difficult.
You don't expect to provide as much in the winter as the summer, surely, do you?
Oh, there's the local people. I mean, they still want some kind of entertainment, don't they? I mean, you take it in the winter, you've got nothing.
Plenty of pubs in the town, that's one thing we're well blessed with.
Even those aren't doing well now, are they?
Right, yeah. You got a card, Wendy?
In the summer, there's a complete change. It's much more active and much more of a bustling sort of town. The atmosphere is much more free in the town, you know, you can sort of sense the holiday feeling.
But of course your type of holidaymaker is changing now. In the old days you booked your holidays and you went by train. If it was pouring down with rain for the whole fortnight, you still stayed on your holidays. But today you don't, do you? You look at the weather and say to yourself, well, this looks pretty good, I think we'll take a chance on this fortnight, and off they go. This wasn't so, you see, in the old days, and you have your boarding housekeeper who was sure of a full season. But today, they put a notice in bed and breakfast and evening meals and hope somebody will call.
I remember when I first came here, during the early days of the war, Rhyl would have a holidaymaker who would come for, say, a month, would take rooms in a boarding house for a month. But these people have long since sought other resorts, and I think it's because Rhyl has become a very cheap resort, appealing mostly to the day tripper type of holidaymaker.
Well, they're certainly not the type that used to come here. But they have the money, and that's what we're here for. Personal likes or personal dislikes, I don't think really come into it. If they want to come here, there's nobody to stop them, and if they like coming to Rhyl, obviously we must do our best to entertain them, because they're bringing their money here. I know this sounds terribly avaricious, but you can't think of it any other way. You can't say, look, we want a nice clean town and you're not coming here and have a nice clean but bankrupt town. I remember Rhyl when there were hardly any day trippers at all. But Rhyl is nearer to the industrial area, and if people are coming away for a weekend, why go on to Colin Bear Stranded? No, we're in Rhyl now. We get the first pick, you see. Well, and whereas the more discriminating person will go on, the others won't.
As a holiday resort, what are we aiming for? To get people down onto the beach, where they can enjoy themselves and spend their money along there. Then we've got to build up the promenade, because that's the nearest point to catch them off the beach. They come for a holiday, they come for the sea and the sand. Then we've got to put the things that they want near at hand. Everything comes off the promenade. We are very much a promenade town. It's a long, thin town stretched along the promenade, really. Everything is on the promenade, but once again, there's no cover there, really, except the floral hall. There's no real cover.
The only thing that's happened to Rhyl, to my mind, in the last few years is the floral hall. Now, I remember this well, being a keen gardener. I remember Mr. McCann trying to push the idea of this floral hall, and it was actually thrown out at the very commencement, and it was brought in the teeth of terrific opposition. The expenditure, I think, of some £26,000. Now, everybody knows now that the floral hall has made £26,000 over and over and over again.
This could be what we could develop in Rhyl, not just the floral hall, but a whole area under glass.
One holiday town along the coast is bound to be made into a sort of fun fair. Every town has got a certain amount of amusements. This town caters for the people who want to spend their money on a fun fair rather than the actual amenities of a town. Well, let's get their money. If we're going to have to, if someone's going to have it, let Rhyl have it.
The public gets, by and large, the public get what they ask for and get what they deserve. The majority of the public today, let's face it, they like their beer and bingo. Plenty of beer in Rhyl, plenty of bingo.
We're only giving the people what they want in order to get their money for our industry.
If they had them up the Marine Lake, where all the rest of the noise net is, all well and good, but they're strung out from one end to the other now. Well, it's one of the finest spots in the country for the weather.
On the beach, it's the best beach along the coast.
The best beach in Wales, bar none. No beach in the whole of Wales to touch it.
In the centre of the town, on the beach in the centre of the town, they have about a few square yards, well, a few square feet each. Perhaps the reason that they like to sit so close together is because they're used to it. They live in big cities, they're living in very close communities, they live in a crowded atmosphere all the time.
A bit disappointed. I thought he might sing one a serious song, you know, like A Party's Over or something like that. Otherwise, very good.
You couldn't hear Lonnie Donegan for the music.
I really like the show. Yes, my wife actually persuaded me to go. I wasn't keen, first of all. I was going for some eats and some drink. But he persuaded me to go, and I really glad she did now.
We get a lot of our business from day trippers. And it may be that these same people have already been on holiday, they may have been abroad, and then they come and have a day in Rhyl. And so we're not completely out of pocket if they take the holiday elsewhere. Once we are open, we can't afford to break down, because if we do, we're closed. We can't deliver the goods tomorrow, and we can't ask the people to come back tomorrow, because if they're here for a day trip, we either ride them and take the money from them while they're here, or we do without.
The last car's in the centre, jumping quickly, we're going right away, a few more this time now. 2 more cars, any more riders? The last car's in the middle, we're going right away this time, any more now?
In the winter, we go along with the prom and the beach nearly every Saturday or Sunday afternoon, taking the dog for a walk, and it's wonderful. There's a feeling of loneliness, vast expanse, which I suppose you must get in the winter.